Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on our Galapagos presentation. My name is Lise, and I'm the group coordinator for Expedia Ottawa. I am really looking forward to this cruise. This is such an amazing show that while you're watching this presentation, we want you to think about when you want to go next year or in 2023, because it's a year-round destination and it sells out very, very quickly. But we do have one special departure for you on February 18th, 2023 on the Expedition, and that will give you more details at the end. And before I invite my fellow Galapagos trekker, Julie, to say a few words, I just want to say that if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the chat, or sorry, not in the chat, in the Q&A box, and we have our expert Galapagos trekkers to answer them. Julie.
Bonjour et bienvenue à la présentation de la compagnie Célébrité au sujet des îles Galapagos, où se trouve une faune originale telle que les iguanas, les tortues géantes et les fous aux pieds bleus. Pour nous en parler ce soir, je vais laisser la parole à Brenda. S'il vous plaît, si vous avez des questions, s'il vous plaît, allez dans le Q&A pour écrire vos questions, puis on va vous répondre. Donc, Brenda, je te laisse la parole. Yeah, Brenda.
Hello, everyone. It is so exciting to be here. I brought an alpaca all the way from Quito. I've got my expedition hat on, and I'm ready to take you on an amazing trip through the Galapagos Islands. There's so much information I have to share with you. It's going to be great. This is going to touch your hearts. It's the most amazing trip you're ever going to go on. And please, as you are watching the presentation, if you have any questions, please do put it in the Q&A box. I'll be answering those. And at the end of the presentation, I'll be here to answer all those questions. And I can hardly wait to welcome you on board the Celebrity Expedition exploring the beautiful Galapagos Islands. Thank you, everyone. What a pleasure it is for me to be here hosting one of my favorite destinations in the whole world, the Galapagos Islands. So I really appreciate Expedia Cruises Ottawa and Lise and Alan and Mireille and Julie having me here today. What an extraordinary journey I'm going to take you on. And you are all so lucky that you're going to be able to experience the Galapagos Islands celebrity style. And you know, we've been going to the Galapagos Islands now for a long time. Well, let's see, my twins are 16 now, so for 17 years. And we were the first to offer a truly seamless, all-inclusive, environmentally conscious vacation celebrity style. You know, one of our really big mantras at Celebrity Cruises is about sustainability, taking care of the oceans we sail in, and being environmentally perfect to keep the oceans and the environments we sail in a perfect state, the way we found it. And with the Galapagos Islands, we offer the eco-luxurious journeys like no one else. And we've been doing this for a long time, and we have bragging rights. But what we really do offer is community-focused experiences. This is a true part of our brand. We do have the Galapagos Fund, and over $1.5 million plus in guest contributions, plus ours, has been put into this fund. With the Scalatia reforestation, we've planted over 50,000 trees, and they've been planted by our guests, so it's very cool. And this fund also goes into community projects in the islands, whether it's helping to build soccer fields, spaces for children, children with special needs, special activities, economic development in the Galapagos, agricultural development, and a fishery co-op. So all these things are really important to us in helping. So here's a short video on what we're doing with the Scalatia reforestation. So as you can see, environmental stewardship is really, really important to us at Celebrity Cruises, and especially in the Galapagos Islands. And we do have a water treatment system with reverse osmosis, fuel efficiency, state-of-the-art recycling, even with our air conditioning, with the condensation. We have dynamic position systems on our ship, zero single-use plastics and solar panels. And this is all to take care of these beautiful islands. And when you go there, oh my gosh, you are in nature. There's more animals and flora than there are people visiting. And when you do go to the Galapagos with us, there is a difference between visiting and experiencing. And you are going to experience the Galapagos Islands by participating in so many great adventures.
There are no other places like it on Earth. A place where the surrounding ocean is the undercurrent that creates a unique web of life.
The Galapagos Islands are unusually rich in wildlife, in large part because of the ocean.
Here, deep, cold, nutrient-rich water is forced to the surface, setting off a chain of events that give rise to a wealth of strange and wondrous animals. The Galapagos lie at the intersection of several major ocean currents, but it is one current that is especially important.
At the equator, a current within the ocean's depths flows eastward, striking the submerged base of the Galapagos Islands. This sets in motion the very essentials for the creation of life.
As the equatorial undercurrent strikes the base of the islands in the west, cold, nutrient-rich water flows to the surface and acts like fertilizer. Algae and phytoplankton bloom, producing the food that fuels the island's life.
The phytoplankton, or tiny drifting plants, are eaten by small drifting animals or zooplankton, which then feed a wealth of other creatures in the islands. Fish and squid eat the zooplankton and then are the prey for larger creatures.
Birds plunge and dive into the sea, where sea turtles and marine iguanas swim. Sea lions, penguins, sharks, and even whales come to feed.
When upwelling is the strongest, Galapagos is abundant with life. Animals reproduce. The young survive and juveniles grow strong. With strong upwelling in the west, marine iguanas grow large and dense in population. Penguins and flightless cormorants thrive, as does the underwater life. In the Galapagos, many of the animals are unique or endemic to the islands.
In the Galapagos, the ocean provides the fuel that sparks life. And here, it is rich, wild, and like no other place on Earth.
Isn't that amazing? So that is going to be your photography and your videos when you go on this very special, all-inclusive experience to the Galapagos Islands. I can tell you the one thing you're going to need lots of is storage discs for your cameras and your GoPros, because you're going to take hundreds and hundreds of videos and photographs. I know I had lots of discs when I went, and I still love looking at all my pictures. So this is all inclusive. It includes your pre and post experiences in Quito, your return flight to Baltra in the Galapagos, your 7-night Galapagos cruise, all your meals, room service, all beverages, gratuities, onboard programming, The shore excursions led by our naturalists, all your snorkeling equipment, and that even includes the wetsuits, use of binoculars, bathrobes, internet service, and of course the entrance fee and tourist entrance cards for the Galapagos Islands. So you're all going to be on this 11-night Galapagos and Quito package that Expedia has put together for you. And what this will include is your 2-night pre-hotel stay in Quito, all your tours and meals, your 7-night Galapagos cruise, and then a 2-night post in Quito, Ecuador as well. This includes your connecting airfare from Quito to the Galapagos Islands and back again. So it really is an amazing, amazing package. And I think I mentioned, I took my twins there when they were, it's been 3 years now since we went to the Galapagos Islands, and it was a trip of a lifetime. And what we did is we flew from Toronto, we flew to Panama City, and then we connected from Panama City to Quito. So Quito is where you need to get to first, where your tour starts. And you stay in this amazing, luxurious hotel, truly celebrity style. Roses and the food that is there, the accommodation, it's simply amazing. And everything is a short walk from this hotel. There's an amazing marketplace where you can buy chocolate and cocoa and beautiful alpacas, scarves, and sweaters. And it's just an amazing market. And that's at the JW Marriott. And then you get to go on these tours that are all curated for you, and you visit Quito, which is an amazing city, great sights. And then after your dinner's out and your tours in Quito, your 2-night pre, then you're going to fly from Quito out to the Galapagos Islands, and you're going to be flying on an exclusive jet just with celebrity customers. So this is really, really phenomenal. And it's just over a 2-hour flight. And then you land in the Galapagos Islands and your adventure begins. And you're met by the naturalists, which are really become part of your family. They're there with you to eat. Of course, they live on board the ships, and they're there to really educate you and bring to life the Galapagos Islands. Now, every day you get to go on different excursions. And the night before, you'll have a meeting with the naturalist, and you get to choose what type of excursions you want to go in. And there's snorkeling, advanced to beginner. There's coastal explorations and kayaking, off-beach excursions, and lots of hiking. So depending on your level, there's something for everyone. And what happens is normally you'll do a tour in the morning, come back, have lunch, relax, shower, and then reposition and go to another island or another stop and do something different. Some days you'll even get in 3 excursions. So it really is a very, very busy schedule full of all sorts of exciting things. And I have to tell you that the snorkeling is phenomenal. You saw in those videos, you are snorkeling with penguins and with sea lions and with tons of tortoises. It's simply amazing. And here's Santa Cruz. This was a real highlight, spending time at the ranch there, seeing how they do help breed all the tortoises. And here's a great picture of me with the twins at the ranch, where you get to roam for about, I don't know, almost an hour exploring this huge area. And there are, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these tortoises just wandering around doing their own thing, and they are big, as you can see. So really, really wonderful. And then Fernandina Island, this has the amazing marine iguanas. These iguanas are very special because they had to start foraging for food in the water, and they had developed a hole in their head to be able to expel the salt water that they were ingesting while eating the food. So you get to learn about all these wonderful things that happen with evolution and with the animals and how they adapt to their surroundings, like the flightless cormorant that can't fly anymore. It has developed almost a web type foot, And as you can see, the short little wings, it dives for its food, and it thrives beautifully in the Galapagos Islands. You'll see the boobies, the blue-footed booby, the red-footed booby, and the Nazca boobies. When we were there, we were seeing nesting with the Nazca boobies. These birds actually walk towards you. They'll land on your hats. They are not afraid of you. It truly is the most incredible thing to be so close to birds. And then there's the waved albatross. So you're going to see so many different types of animals. You're going to be on the beach, up front, you know, up close and personal with the sea lions, and you're going to watch how they call to each other. You'll see mating, you'll see all sorts of things with these animals. And here's a picture that I took on my GoPro of this sea lion that was snorkeling with us in the water, very playful. And this is just one of those memories that I'm not the best photographer in the world, as you can see, and we're both trying to go up for air, but he certainly was very playful, coming right up in front of me. And you're gonna have these great memories of these playful animals that just wanna come and check you out. So it's really, really great, and they'll come check you out. And if you don't know how to snorkel, don't worry, the naturalists will teach you. So what ship are you going on? You're going on the Expedition 48 guests on this ship. This ship used to take 100 guests, and now it's 48. So you can imagine the space that you have. It's beautiful, and you're going to have a wonderful time. Here's some of the beautiful areas on board. She's been fully revolutionized and renovated, and she's simply lovely. Lots of opportunities to eat outdoors for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, cocktails, Beagle Grill, beautiful area. And then the Discovery Lounge. This is where you have cocktails. This is where the naturalists do the talks every evening before you go to your next stop, to tell you what you're gonna see, what you're gonna experience, all the history, and there'll be music, and of course, lots of cocktails. So that usually happens before you head off to dinner. And then you go to the beautiful Darwin's restaurant. And even though we do have beautiful meals with lots of local cuisine, you will still have that gourmet 5-star celebrity service and meals that you expect on board like any of our other cruises. So, you know, you'll have some things that are very particular to the Galapagos, but as well some of celebrities' favorites. So this is an opportunity for you to sit with your naturalists, sit with other guests that you meet. You can go, you know, usually it's a set time, but people can come in, you know, kind of at their leisure for breakfasts and lunches, etc. So that's the restaurant. And then here's a picture of the accommodation. So there are some accommodations with verandas, and then there's others with the ocean view. But don't worry, the ship is so small, it's only a step away for you to get out on deck. And remember, you're going to be spending a lot of time getting on and off the ship, going and exploring. This is like an African safari, except on water. So it truly is really an amazing experience. And I think, you know, for me, one of the best parts is those memories of seeing all these animals, learning about them, learning about, you know, the environmental stewardship, and truly you're going to keep these memories with you forever, and you'll want to go back again like I do now. So now we're going to open it up and see if we have any questions. All right, well, that was the whirlwind trip to the Galapagos Islands, and as you can see, I'm very passionate about this trip. And like I was saying, it really, it's one of those trips where you're going to spend so much time outside exploring the islands. You're with the animals, you're learning about them, the one-on-ones with your naturalist. You'll have this great relationship with them because they're with you all the time, whether it's having a cocktail on board or, you know, going ashore and touring. And you're just going to learn so much about what you're seeing and just about the Galapagos Islands. It really is a very special place, and it's very calming because it's just you, the naturalists, and the fellow guests. And as you saw, you go on our little zodiacs, which have about, you know, up to 12 max on them. And it's really like your perfect social distancing vacation already, because the islands are bare except for the animals. You're invited to join them. They're very strict when you're going on the tours, the walking tours. You have to let the naturalists always lead. You can't go and explore on your own. There's set paths, and that's to protect the animals and the fauna there, because the animals are so friendly. They won't run away, as I was saying, and everything is very protected. And a lot of people, like I say, see some questions are coming in. One of the most popular questions people always ask is, when's the best time to go? And I think in speaking with Lise and Julie, when they were trying to decide on when to go, we did pick a great time to go. And I think you do have a slide with that, right, to show the departure time. But, you know, I want to say we particularly picked this date to go, but the dates sell out really, really quickly. So anytime you want to go to the Galapagos, it's great because it's on the equator. It's always warm, and you're always going to see major things happening with the animals. But this one's really nice, and I'll let Lise and Julie talk to it because they're hosting it. And it's always great to have somebody there with you, and I'm so excited for them to tell you a little bit about this trip.
Hi there. So this was really exciting. I can't wait. It's been on my bucket list for so long now, and I'm just excited. And I'm excited that, you know, Julie's coming with me, and I already have a lot of my friends that are joining us. And the reason we picked February is going to the Galapagos is a personal choice, because depending on what type of animals you like, what type of trees and flowers, that will tell you when you want to go. It's like Alaska. The animals and trees are all at different times of the year. So, and the weather as well. So we picked February, the end of February, because you're pretty much guaranteed, I guess, that you don't have to wear a wetsuit because it's not going to be freaking cold out there swimming. Is that right, Brenda? Or
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you, wetsuits are provided. Now, you're always going to wear a wetsuit, although my son didn't wear a wetsuit, but you want to wear it just because these waters are so full of life and organisms and things floating around, just to protect yourself and to protect the wildlife. So you always want to wear the wetsuits, and they're little half wetsuits. I brought my own just because I'm a diver, but one of the best dives that well, I'm calling them dives, snorkeling that you do, the colder the water, the better, because there's just more wildlife. And the day we had our coldest snorkeling was when we were snorkeling with penguins, zipping. The smallest penguins in the world were in this part of the world swimming past us. So, and you forget about the temperature of the water because there's so many animals that you're busy looking at. And I know you mentioned animals. You will always see, no matter what time of year, the blue-footed boobies, the Nazca, the red-footed boobies, the tortoises, the sea lions, the penguins, the waved albatross. They do come in. They're seasonal. They're there from February till about October. And we were there in January, like just a couple weeks before your trip is taking off. And so they were building nests. The sea lions had just given birth to their babies. And so there is a wildlife schedule that Julie and Lise can share with you, all that are interested, that tells you what time of year there's different things happening with the babies, where their babies are being born or they're mating or whatever it might be. The other thing that was happening in late January when we were there were the turtles, the sea turtles were mating. And we were snorkeling, I swear to God, with over 200 turtles in the water, my son and I amongst all these turtles, and the waves were pushing us, and we're like, we don't want to bump into them, but they managed to stay away from us and vice versa. And it was just incredible. Anyways, these turtles were mating on top of each other, and my son's like, ah. Anyways, it's quite the adventure.
That's great. So we've answered the animals that we see in February. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Another, another big question that we get is like, what do you wear? What do you take to Galapagos? And I have my beautiful alpaca poncho that I got at the market in Quito. So it's wonderful because you have 2 days pre and 2 days post. There's a market in Quito that's within walking distance or a $2 cab ride, and you buy the best coffee, all the chocolate, beautiful alpaca scarves, and you can get great hats for, we forgot to get great hats, and you really do need great sun hats for your tour in the Galapagos because the sun is very strong because you're on the equator. And so you can buy those there, and it's just a really fun shopping area in Quito. So you have lots of time. And the tours that we take you on are phenomenal. They're first rate. The dining and the restaurants we take you to, whether in the evening or in the afternoon, are phenomenal. The breakfast at the hotel has every type of fruit under the planet. Like, it's so tropical there. The food is just, it's just like you're on a celebrity cruise, even at the hotel. And that's part of what we do. We want to make sure you're treated like you are on board our ships. But from the flight where you're all together out to the Galapagos Islands as a group, you don't need to worry about a thing. We have a tour guide that gets your boarding passes, make sure your luggage is taken care of. You just kind of got to show up, and we take you on the tour. So it really is a 5-star experience from beginning to end.
Thank you. So there's a couple of questions. So our special, well, there's a special going on now with Celebrity that it includes flights. It's called Fly Galapagos on some of the certain dates, and it's a credit. Basically, you can either get a credit for the flights, or your flight is included, and it's from several locations in Canada and the US. It's roughly worth $700, $800 per person. The prices are per person, not per couple. And the immunization for the area. So Brenda, I'll let you take that, and we don't need any, yeah?
Yeah, no immunizations are needed for that area. Now, let's face it, we're going through a little bit of a transition period right now. That's not until 2023. So, we expect that things will be, we hope, more like we were used to. So, don't worry about the immunizations. We didn't need it then. The thing about bugs, we never experienced any bugs when we were there. There can be bugs. And so back to the dress code, you really don't wear really bright colored, clothing, because bugs are attracted to that. So try to stick to the more, tan, lighter color clothing. And honestly, it is very casual. Shorts or the pants that you can zip off the bottom if you get really hot. We wore on our shoes, we had Crocs, but you want waterproof sandals for getting in and out of the water, and really great walking shoes. Because remember, this is one of those trips where you're walking where the animals walk. Like, there's no pathways. There's pathways, but it's all natural. So you want to have really good walking shoes. You want to have a really good kind of little backpack or something light that you can put your big bottle of water in. We provide these amazing water bottles for you, and we have on board our ships all refillable water stations because there's zero plastic. So we have that for your use, and then you want to be able to stick your camera in there and a little bit of sunscreen, and then just to be comfortable for, of course, your hikes. And if you can get a waterproof for underwater, your camera or a GoPro, you definitely want that because there's so much wildlife to be seen under the water as there is above. So yeah, shorts, and even on board the ship, like I had a couple sundresses I wore, but it's mostly shorts and guys with shorts and just casual. And you may buy a lot of things in Quito with your shopping time before. And what you can do is leave one suitcase. We left one suitcase at the hotel in storage at the JW Marriott. And then you just take what you need for your Galapagos portion with you, because you're allowed one carry-on and up to 44 pounds on the plane going over. And you want a couple bathing suits because, you know, in the morning you go ashore and then you come back, and if you don't want to wear a wet bathing suit in the afternoon, you want to have another bathing suit. So I'd say at least 2 bathing suits, and just stuff that really dries quickly because, you know, you get warm and wet, and you want things to dry quickly. There is a laundry on board and we take care of that for you, so not to worry.
What about the sunscreen? Like, you know, right now it's recommended when you snorkel near the reefs and that you have the special sunscreen. It's more zinc based and it's safer for the marine life. Is that the same for Galapagos?
Yeah, you know, that's a really great question. Did we get sunscreen on board, or we brought our own? No, we brought our own sunscreen and we were okay with it. There were no issues with us using any type of sunscreen when we were there, to tell you the truth.
Okay, great. So I'll just answer some of these questions that are popping up on the chat or on the Q&A. So really, when you cruise the Galapagos with Celebrity, you don't have to spend anything. There's no need for onboard credit. So your drinks are included, like your alcoholic beverages are included. So I'll be at the bar drinking my martini. I don't know about the rest of you. And there's really your Wi-Fi is included, your gratuities, all your food. So you can really go on the ship broke and enjoy it. There's no reason to bring any money, right, Bren?
Yeah, you know, there is a little gift shop on board, and there is some spa, like massage services. But besides that, you're absolutely right. You really don't need any money. You know, all the gratuities and everything for the staff are already taken care of. Now, money for when you're in Quito for your shopping, you know, yes, but everything's so inexpensive there. It's crazy.
Okay, so the cabins are double occupancy. I think there might be a couple of triple, Brenda, but it's very limited, correct? Or there's none at all, sorry, on this one.
No, not on this ship. You
okay.
know,
Fair enough.
Yeah, we don't have any triples anymore. On one of our ships that that we used to have, there was, but not on the Expedition. And I have to tell you that the Expedition, like I said earlier, was built for 100 guests. And the maximum that can be on the ship is 48. And what I would love to see is for it just to be Expedia Cruises guests from Ottawa and the surrounding areas, like on board. I'd love it for it to be all your friends and family, you two. Because
we're working on it.
Yeah, that would be so awesome.
On this cruise, I know that we have picked the 11-day, but if you want to join us on the cruise, but you want to do like the Machu Picchu extension, you're more than welcome to do that. Or if you only want to do the 10-day, you're more than welcome to do that. You'd be on the ship with us, but then you'd do your other fun stuff on your own. So that's not an issue. Someone asked about single supplements. Unfortunately, you need to pay for the 2 people in the cabin. But I do have a lady who's, I think, 75 years old, wants to go, but she's solo. So reach out to me if you want to share a cabin with someone to go to the Galapagos. Well, go ahead, Brenda.
Yeah, so I see Odette asks, I've heard the water can be choppy at times. How calm is the water in February? Okay, that's a good question, you know, and that's why, so we have 3 sizes of vessels. We have the Flora, the all luxury suite, which is our newest ship, 100 guests. We have the Expedition, which is still a large yacht, which is kind of, we say it's medium sized because it has 48 guests. And then we have our little one, 16 guests, catamaran. And that's the one you need to be a sailor on, because that one can get a little bit choppy. Now, we didn't experience, maybe the first night out, sailing out of Baltra, you know, it was a little choppy, but not bad at all. For the most part, you know, you are sailing close to the islands all the time. So you know, I really haven't heard any commentary except for people that were on the catamaran and had never done that type of experience. They felt the chop, but on the Expedition, I think you should be fine. But, you know, there is a resolution to, you know, not feeling the ship moving, and that's just stick with Lisa and Julie and have a few cocktails.
Does Quito or Quito or Quito, I like pronouncing the U because I'm French. Is it, what kind of currency? Do they accept US, or do we need to change our money?
Yeah. What did we do? They did take US dollars. I think we did get local currency too. We did get local currency before we left. So yes, I would say take some local currency. Keep some US bucks, but take some local currency.
Okay. And I just want to say that a couple of people have commented in the Q&A. I don't think the rest of the world can see it, but one person said they went in June of 2012 with private company, 16 people in a catamaran, and it was amazing, just like you described, Brenda.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's great. Well, maybe I don't know, were you on our little exploration? You can, hey, so everybody out there, if just so you do know, we have, you can do a 10 night or an 11 night is the best that Lisa and Julie have planned, or you can do the Machu Picchu. You can do any of those any time of the year. So don't be afraid to reach out to them for other dates. We do list it as a 7-night cruise, and that's 7 nights out of Baltra, which is where it starts. But you don't want to have to be arranging all your flights, your hotels, your visas, and all that on your own. So you definitely want the package. We pick you up from the airport as soon as you arrive, whether it be midnight or 1 in the morning, and we take you to the hotel. We truly do take care of you. So please do the package. And Lucille asked, how far away do you dock from the islands? And how much, in other words, how much time is spent traveling in the morning to the island? Okay, that is a great question. Well, guess what? When you land at the airport in Quito, you go through inspection, like all the inspection to make sure you're not bringing anything that might hurt the islands. And then you go into the celebrity VIP area for refreshments and food. While we take all your luggage, we load it on to the tenders and get it to the ship. So that happens behind the scenes while you're just enjoying and going through all the official stuff. Then we put you on this open air transfer with your naturalist, and it takes 2 minutes to go down the hill to where the Zodiacs are waiting for you to take you out to the Expedition, which you'll see. And the ride on the Zodiac out to the XP, like she's moored out not far away, like, I don't know, like 5 minutes. Like it's so quick. So that's when you first get on the ship. And then basically when you're going ashore, like the ship always is, I want to say anchored using dynamic positioning because we don't destroy the bottom of the ocean. The ship sits there, and sometimes a Zodiac ride might be 10 minutes, 8 minutes, like it's very, very short. Like you can see the shore, like you see where you're going. So it just depends. So you're not spending a lot of time going back and forth. And because the groups are staggered depending on what you're doing, and there's so many zodiacs, and it doesn't take any time at all. Like, because one group will go ashore, you go ashore with the people you want to that are signed up in the same category of tour, and they go ashore, and then you start. Like, it's all kind of staggered within your group of 9 to 12 people. So it's very, very, yeah, it's very slick and easy and smooth. You're not waiting around for anything. Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the other one?
Are there other expeditions than hiking and snorkeling, perhaps kayaking? Yes, there is kayaking, and so we have opportunities. So there's opportunities for you to go out on the kayaks. We have coastal explorations as well, where we do some tours for bird watching and animals and things like that. So it just depends on the islands. And then there's walking. You know, when we say hiking, we mean walking and exploring. There's going to the beach where you're snorkeling or you're exploring. If you're not a swimmer, don't worry. Like, there was some people on our trip that they didn't want to get in the water. So they came and sat on the Zodiac. They were seeing the penguins, they were seeing the sea lions, they were seeing everything, but from above the water. So, so don't worry if you're not an underwater person. That's okay, because there are people who don't swim that still have a great time. Good questions.
Wow. That's great. This has been a very, very interactive group. We'll have
know,
lots of fun
like
on the ship.
I know. I'm sure there's lots and lots of more questions that will come up as you think about it. But you know, before I went, I got a Galapagos book, and I read about all the islands we were visiting. We send you out a really great itinerary in advance that shows you, you know, what you're going to see. And every day is a jam-packed, full adventure. It really is like an African safari, except on water. And you're learning so much about, you know, the animals. And basically what happens when you come back from a morning excursion or afternoon, you usually get a cocktail or you have a shower, and you talk to your fellow travelers about, oh my gosh, that was so amazing, you know, seeing those babies, or, you know, seeing this happen, and just the whole dialogue. You know, in the evening, music is being played, stargazing, because there's no pollution, there's no lights, like you can see the stars. It's beautiful, sitting outside, having a cocktail, a chat. You know, it's very, very relaxing. You're busy sending pictures home or downloading things off your camera so you have more space for tomorrow's adventure. And, you know, we stayed up kind of late, but you're usually, you know, some days are earlier than others. You have an early morning breakfast, and then you're getting off between 8 and 8:30. You don't have to do everything. We do have one full day in Santa Cruz where you get to see the shrine of Lonesome George. It's like going into this space-locked, he's in this vacuum-controlled museum that only a certain amount of people can go in at a time because of the pressurization and stuff to keep him intact, because he's the last of his species. So that's really fun. And you have a kind of time to go enjoy a local cuisine in Santa Cruz. You have some shopping time as well, which is kind of fun as well. So, and that's when you get to go to this ranch that I'm here with my kids, that you get to roam with all these tortoises, which is amazing. So yeah, there's a lot of different experiences, and it's just, yeah, it's something very special and unique for sure.
And you supply the binoculars, the snorkel gear, and the gown, or not the gown, the
Wetsuit.
And the wetsuit. But there's house coats in the rooms as well.
Yep.
Loungers,
Yep. Yep, there is all the usual amenities that you have on board. And, you know, to tell you the truth, like what happens, it really is your own private yacht. I mean, you'll be 48 guests. So, you know, you go, you shower, you change, and then you end up going upstairs and meeting people, whether it's having a snooze on the deck as the ship repositions to another, you know, island for the afternoon's adventure, reading a book, relaxing. It goes by quick. Like it's a very, very busy. Your cabin attendant, your butler is like redoing your room 3 times a day because you're shower and back out again, shower, back out again, shower. Yeah, they're pretty amazing.
What are your thoughts on the snorkel gear? Like, I like to bring my own snorkel gear when I go to the Caribbean, but it sounds like there's not a whole lot of space for us, like our luggage space, size of our luggage for the Galapagos. What are your comments on that?
Yeah, you know, that's a really good question. If you are really particular to your own equipment, take it. You know, I took my own wetsuit because I have a full wetsuit. I actually, when I'm swimming in really and diving in very nutrient rich oceans, and remember, there's no pollution here, and this is where the crossover of all animals, everything happens. There's, you know, there's lots of things floating around that you can't see, and I'm itchier than others to some of them. I just have I don't know, I think hormones, you know, I have a reaction to it, so I need to keep covered up so I don't get itchy, but that may not be you, you know, but certainly bring your own, if you like your own snorkel and mask, that doesn't take up much space. You know, I'd say your flippers, leave your flippers at home, you know, but the snorkel and mask, there were some people that brought the mask that had the one piece. Yeah. Yeah.
The full face, right?
Someone's inquiring about the internet. Is there a limit on the internet?
No
Okay.
limit. No.
All right. All right. So does anybody else, anything else? This is crazy, great. Like, I can't believe the number of attendees on this call and all the questions. I just wanted to say that Julie and I were going to create some sort of Facebook page where everybody who has registered on our group, that if you want to join, ask questions, kind of like pre-meet, you'll be able to do that, as well as we will be doing what you call a ticketing party. So closer to our sailing, once we have all the paperwork, we'll all meet for wine and cheese. If we can by then, let's hope. I'm sure we will be able to. And then we'll chat and hand out the tickets and all that fun stuff. So no, the price is the price that we had on the board was including everything, the taxes and all that. Yeah. No other fees added, unless you want to come first class from Canada or the US.
No, it really isn't. For those of you that are loyalty guests with Celebrity, there's an additional discount for being a loyalty guest. So I think it's $500 for Ocean View and $1,000 for Suite. And, you know, for those of you that are new to Celebrity, you have between now and February of 2023 to take a cruise with us, so you can take advantage of that loyalty discount later on. But, you know, hey, I know that, you know, this is one of those, you could spend, you know, maybe do a couple all-inclusive trips to the beach and, you know, do more trips for this type of adventure experience, but I can tell you that this is something that you'll remember forever, and it will be the ultimate experience, truly. You know, and I think that's what we've all realized during this time, this pause, and what we've gone through is we can't wait to do these special trips. You need to do them now. You need to start doing those special things with those special people in your life, and do it now before it's too late. Every year we have to renew our license to go into the Galapagos Islands because it is a very special place and it's protected, and the government decides, you know, if they're going to renew your licenses to go in, and they're very strict with everything about what you bring on board the ships to how you transit within the islands to protect them. And there's only a limited amount of tour operators, like we're called the tour operator there, that are allowed in the Galapagos. So we're only allowed a maximum of our 164 people per week in the Galapagos Islands. And you cannot request to add more people to come to Galapagos. There's a limit, and people have to bow out of going to Galapagos before you can start a new company to go into Galapagos. So it's very protected and very special, and I don't think it will be open for people to explore forever, for sure. I think it will become just open for scientists sooner or later. Obviously, the people that live in the Galapagos, they need to be sustainable and make a living, but that will have to be accounted for in other ways. So,
Brenda, what's the difference between the Northern Loop and the Southern Loop? I was so excited about the Northern Loop, I never bothered to look at the Southern Loop, so I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and thank you to whoever brought that up. There's Northern Loop, Southern Loop, Outer Loop, and Inner Loop. Now, I will tell you why there's 4 different loops. There used to be only 2 loops that we would go. And what was happening is throughout the years, so this just got changed, I think 4 years ago, to the 4 loops. The government, they decided to do that because the animals were becoming habituated to the naturalists, like it's almost like their pets, because every week, the same time, the same naturalists, like people were coming. And so they saw that this was not good for the islands. And so then they decided they needed to stretch it out and open up different areas, but know that on every single loop, whichever one you choose, you always will see the tortoises, the boobies, the sea lions, the penguins, and then depending on the season, the flightless cormorants, of course, they're year round. You'll see the marine iguanas always. So you won't miss out on the big 5, but there are different things that happen on the islands. And I think that's why we do have some really good handouts that Lise and Julie, they'll share with you later in a follow-up and send you some of those, and you can read about that. We have other great videos as well that, obviously you get all your information for your booking from Julie and Lise, but we do, on YouTube, you'll see lots of great Galapagos videos, and hopefully in another year and a bit, it'll be your videos on YouTube that you'll be sharing with the world.
Mm-hmm. And Lise, just to ask a question, I just want to confirm that the flights from Ottawa are included in that price.
Yes, it's a credit. It's something like $780 per person included to go to Quito. That's what it is right now anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. People can do their own air as well if they want, but in this, because we have this promotion, it goes until April 30th. With the Galapagos Air, the flights are on us. So it's good to book by April 30th so you have that air credit on there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. So are we good? We're good.
All right.
Yeah, so I want to thank you for joining us on this voyage to the Galapagos. I'm super pumped, super excited. I can't believe I'm getting one of my bucket list items ticked off after the year everybody's had. I'm sure everybody's going to be starting to work on their bucket list. So if you want to join us on our tour, or if you want to do any other dates, there's a few left in 2022. There's lots left in 2023. Just reach out to your travel advisors. You should have all received an email from them welcoming you to the webinar. So just reach out to them. Thanks again. And Julie, over to you. And thanks, Brenda. Wait, sorry, I forgot. Brenda, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're the best.
Thank you. You know what? I just want to say to all the Expedia loyal customers out there with, you know, the Ottawa centers. You are in such great care and hands with these advisors. They do so many trainings with me to understand and make sure they can match the right destination, the right ship, with Celebrity, with all of you. And you're gonna have so much fun with these two as well. They're crazy, and crazy is good. They're gonna take good care of you no matter what trip you choose. But thank you for having me, Lise and Julie. And I just wish you all the best, most memorable trip to Galapagos.
Non, mais moi aussi, j'aimerais bien te remercier, Brenda, de la part de nos amis francophones qui ont écouté le webinaire. C'était très intéressant. Nous avons appris beaucoup de choses avec tes histoires. Et puis, j'aimerais vous souhaiter toute bonne soirée et merci beaucoup. Et puis, je serai à bord du bateau le 7 février 2023 pour répondre à vos questions en français. Lise aussi va être avec nous. Donc, on sera 2 représentantes de Expedia Cruise à Ottawa qui seront présents avec vous. Donc, merci beaucoup et à la prochaine.